Namaskar, you mindful souls. Welcome to our talk show, Positivity with Praveen. Today, we have a very special guest with us from Australia. Charlene Lynch is a multi-passionate entrepreneur and veteran workshop facilitator with 30 years of rich experience in business coaching. She has a background in accounting and holistic psychology. An inspirational international speaker, Charlene is a thought leader and authority on mind shift, the future of mindset. Charlene is the vice president of Healing Through Love, a not-for-profit organization which provides pamper days for women impacted with family and domestic violence. So you mindful souls, please join hands in welcoming the energetic, inspiring, and awesome Charlene Lynch. Charlene, welcome to our show. We are excited to have you here today.
Thank you.
Here is the first question for you. Today, you are a living embodiment of mind shift, but you have had your own share of mental health issues, fighting alcoholism, depression, anxiety, and a huge personal loss. We are eager to know your story and this powerful mind shift that happened.
Thank you. Thank you so much for asking me to be here today. Well, with the permission of your viewers, I'd like to tell the story of how my mind shift happened one cool September night in 2011. I came home from a birthday party and I was very eager to let my son know that I was home early and that I was sober for a change. I knocked on his door and there was no answer. So I asked my partner to go around the outside of the house and look through the window to let him know that I was home, because he's probably gaming and wearing those headsets that kids wear. And that's when we found that my baby boy had hung himself. I raced to the door to kick the door down and tried for 15 long minutes to resuscitate him, all while praying that I would get a different answer. 15 minutes later, the ambulance officers came and they ushered me quickly out of the room, and time stood still as I held my breath, still praying for another answer. The ambulance officer came out of Scott's room and he looked at me, and I know that he said something, but I couldn't really hear what he said. Just the look on his face was enough, and I collapsed to the ground, still praying for a different answer. I heard one word, and that word was forgive. When I was able to stand up, the ambulance officer asked me, would I like to go in to say my goodbyes to Scott? And I went in and I lied down and rested my head on his shoulder. And I said, I love you, Scott, and I forgive you. And what I didn't know is that forgiving Scott for his choice had begun my shift, had begun my mind shift process. And yeah, that's taken me from where I was to where I am today. I very quickly the next day got a spiral bound notebook and started writing down everything that I was grateful for, and that began the next part of my journey by lifting my frequency in gratitude. And I remember one day I only wrote that the sun was shining. Like, that was a really, really hard day. So even if you've only got tiny things to be grateful for, a flower, the sun, it all makes a huge difference to help you heal and move forward to make a difference. Also, I had made a decision that I was going to live a different life because I believed that that's what Scott would want. So I said that I'm not just going to survive this, I'm going to thrive through this. So with those three things in my toolbox, the forgiveness, the gratitude, and making the decision, I was able to begin my mind shift process and take me from where I was, which was an alcoholic of 30 years, 25 kilos overweight, self-harming OCD, depression, ADD, anxiety, just a huge range of challenges, both physical and mental, to get from where I was to where I am today. And the shift process has made all the difference.
Thank you, Charlene, for sharing your story. That was really heart-wrenching. I had literally goosebumps, and yeah, I could feel for your loss, and thank you for sharing your story with us. So you help people navigate the gap from where they are to where they want to be. Tell us about your Mindshift program?
Yes, thank you. The outline of the Mindshift program is basically, it starts with S. So the shift process starts with S, and S is to see the big picture. And you need to see a picture that feels uncomfortable. It needs to be so large that it doesn't feel like even possible. On the days after my son's passing, I crafted for myself what I believed my life could possibly look like. And from that point in time, being an alcoholic and having a range of mental illness challenges, there's just no way that I could perceive that that could be a possible life for me. But here I am 8 years later and I'm living that life. So everything is possible. So you need to see a big picture, and it needs to be huge, and take time to craft that. I would make some time alone, away from other people. And, if you can, even just an entire weekend, get away from all the things that you need to do so that you can brainstorm what you'd like your life to look like. And it needs to be big, and no hows. You don't need to have in this point in time any how to get there. This is just all about what is possible. So a huge brainstorming. And the next letter is H, and H is to hone in on reality. This is where you get real. What is really happening? And so for me, this was like pulling back the covers and saying, okay, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. You are a chronic alcoholic, self-harming OCD, ADD, depression, and just a multitude of other physical challenges as well. How do I get from where I am now to where I need to be? So that crafts the gap between the difference. And yes, that gap for me was very large and had to include lots of different areas of my life that needed to be fixed up. So the next thing is to hone in on reality. My favorite step, and possibly the most important step in the entire shift process, is I. I stands for implement quick wins. Now we need quick wins. Quick wins will show us that it is possible to move forward. Quick wins will rewire our brain, and quick wins will give us that serotonin hit that we need to keep us going. For me, my very first quick win was from the night that my son passed away, choosing not to drink coffee. Now, for me, I was drinking 8 cups of coffee a day. That was another addiction. I drank a lot of cups of coffee. It was something that I did. It was part of my personality. It was just, I always was seen with a coffee cup or a glass of wine in my hand. So to move away and implement that quick win really showed me that, hey, if I can do that, I can do anything. And then it allowed me to do the next quick win, the next quick win, the next quick win. And just through a series of quick wins, it allowed me to take those steps forward and live the life that I live now. The next one is F. So F is to focus on the patterns. The patterns are everywhere. Now to help you see the patterns, you really need to be journaling so that you can see them. They literally emerge from the page. You'll see your family patterns. You'll see your behavioral patterns. Will just be there. You won't need to go see a therapist to see the patterns. You'll be able to see the patterns yourself. So another great way to see patterns is to ask yourself questions. Ask yourself a lot of questions. In fact, question everything. That's one of my big things, is to question everything. And re-journal. Once you've journaled, go back and read them and re-journal from that point as well. And then the last is T. T is take massive action, and it needs to be massive imperfect action. You need to start where you stand. As a recovering perfectionist, I was always frozen at that point of taking action, literally like a deer in headlights. So yes, you need to take massive action, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be action, and it needs to be in the right direction. So that is the umbrella of the Shift program, part of the Mindshift program. And that's at the tippy top level. That's basically what the program entails. Thank you for asking.
That's powerful. Shift, SHIFT. That will give a handy acronym and mnemonic to our viewers to shift their mind and experience success in their life. Charlene, there are a lot of budding entrepreneurs who struggle to take their business to the heights they desire to. You have helped a lot of such entrepreneurs with your Business Unpacked program. Tell us a little more about that.
Thank you for asking. The Business Unpacked program is my favorite thing to do. It's a 2.5-hour journey, and it is a journey. if I could take a picture of what it looks like at the beginning of the 2.5 hours and a picture afterwards, you can see the expression on their face is even different, and you can feel a different energy from them. So Business Unpack is an opportunity to take the business apart as it stands currently and put it back together again in a way that's going to work for them moving forward. Now, what we find with most entrepreneurs, myself included, is that we sort of Frankensteined our business. We started with an idea of what we wanted, and we put a little plug in here and a little plug in there, a landing page for this, a booking calendar for this, and everything seems to be all over the place. And as we grow and move forward, we haven't had an opportunity to take it all apart, have a look at what's really happening and move in the right direction. So with a Business Unpack, we start with S. We start with see the big picture, and we do a process, a program to unpack that and see what is possible for their business. And we take all of the brakes off. We have an opportunity to really look at what do you want this to look like? And then we break it down to see what it is now, and then that gives us the gap. And then the next step is to implement quick wins. And after a Business Unpack, a client always has a series of quick wins to go away with. Some clients find that a Business Unpack is all they need to sort out their challenges. Others find that following that with a business coaching program to get them to where they need to go. They are truly my favorite thing to do. 2.5 hours, it's the best 2.5 hours you'll ever spend. And I've got to say, it's very good value for money as well.
Charlene, you have yourself experienced a tremendous shift of moving from a negative zone to a positive zone where you are in today. What do you think is the importance of positivity and wittiness in one's life? How would a positive mindset be like?
Great questions, and great questions from you. I know this is your area of expertise. So positivity is very important, and I'm very lucky to have positivity in my top 5 strengths. So it's where I live. However, there's also a basement area of positivity as well. So there's like a shadow side. And for me, what I found with just being completely positive all the time, people thought I was a little shallow. And also people thought I was a little, she's drinking her own Kool-Aid. They didn't think that I took things seriously. And so positively comes with a light and a dark space. It takes more than just being positive. When things happen, what we need to do is, always lean towards having it as a positive outcome, having it towards seeing the glass as half full rather than half empty. So absolutely, we definitely do need to have that high degree of positivity when we're just living our daily lives. We also, though, need to give space between thought and action. So when something happens, what I found that if I didn't give myself space between my thought and my action, I went into old thought processes. So yes, I have a lovely little saying that I use, and regardless of what happens, I'll give you a perfect example. So a P-plater, so in Australia, a P-plater is somebody who's learning to drive their car, and on their cars, they have a little P. That's to indicate everyone else on the road that they're just learning to drive. So a P-plater swerved and almost knocked me off the road. Now, the old Charlene might have shaken a few fingers around and said some very unsavory words, and that wouldn't have made any difference to the outcome. So the new Charlene instead gives space between thought and action and just says this, and I love this saying, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting?
Absolutely.
So that's all I say, isn't that interesting? And that gives me time between space between thought and action so that I'm just like, oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, they must be in a rush.
And you have a powerful green hair strategy to manage criticism that also helps to give gap between your thought and action. Help our viewers understand that beautiful green hair strategy.
Oh, I love green hair strategy, and I teach my team this strategy tool. In South Australia, we have these little trolls that have bright green hair. So I give them to my team to remind them about the green hair strategy. So basically, if I said to you, you've got green hair, how would you feel? Would you be upset? Would you even be bothered? Probably nothing at all, because you don't have green hair. Yes. So when someone gives you a piece of criticism, whether it be an email, text message, even face-to-face, if they say something to you and it sticks, if it hurts, if it presses a point, well, then I have to say you own some part of that criticism. So if they say something to you and it doesn't sting, hurt, or anything, well, then you really do have green hair. It's not sticking. So for me, when someone has said something to me, whether it's in social media or through an email, and it's like, I start off with, isn't that interesting, to give space between thought and action, and consider, is there any part of this that's getting a reaction from me? And if it's not, well, then this is their story. This is their thing, not mine. If it is poking me on any level after I've said, isn't that interesting? Then I know I own some part of what they've said, and I go internally to have a look at how I can move through that without responding to them until I've sorted it out internally. And this way I can own my stuff, and I hold a mirror to my own thoughts and behaviors on a daily basis.
Wow, this is powerful and can be implemented immediately. Green hair, fantastic. Okay. Charlene, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with our viewers. And this brings us to the interesting section of our conversation with Charlene. 60 Seconds Quickie Challenge. Charlene, are you ready for the challenge?
No, but that's okay. I'm up for anything.
That's a sport. So Charlene, here is the first question for you. What do you find yourself doing a lot these days in times of lockdown?
Oh, wow. More meditation, more prayer, and more gratitude. That's easy to answer.
The first thing you do as soon as you wake up?
Oh, so the very first thing that I do when I wake up is I hold space for my conscious and my subconscious to have a conversation.
The most used app on your phone?
Facebook.
When do you feel the most creative?
Oh, that's a great question. I am a nighttime girl. So when everything's quiet and everyone's gone to bed, I come up with the most amazing creative things.
If you could be any animal, what would it be?
Oh, I'm a horse. There's no question about it.
Your favorite place to visit in the world?
Oh, every botanical garden. I love botanical gardens.
So we have a very good botanical garden in Ooty in India.
I will have to come and visit that when I'm there. It's always my favorite place because I get to see a little bit of everything a country has to offer by visiting their botanical gardens.
Thank you so much, Charlene. That was a fun conversation with you, and we experienced a tremendous mind shift. Thank you. Bye-bye. You mindful souls, if you enjoyed this conversation with Charlene Lynch, authority on Mindshift, and would like to hear more such conversation to enhance your positive zone, please subscribe to our channel Positivity and click the bell button to get regular updates. Namaskar. Bye-bye.